and I'm Amy with Creative Catapult Coaching, and I just thought I would have a short chat with one of the people who went through the first group. You want to tell us who you are and how you found out about this little project I'm running?
Hi, so I'm Sarah. I'm a cozy mystery author, fairly new. I've been writing for just about a year, so not very long. And I actually came across you through Lindsay Broker, Joe Lallo, and Andrew Pearson. They have the Six Figure Author podcast or YouTube channel. And Lindsay mentioned something about you running, I think it was a 6 or 8 week beta testing group back in the pandemic. And I was like, yeah, please, let me in. So we've been on lockdown here since March. So productivity has definitely taken a hit this year. And yeah, it was the perfect timing. So and I couldn't believe it when you actually messaged me and said you're in. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. So yeah, it was really cool. So thank you. It was perfect timing. It was just what I needed.
Well, glad to hear. And so what did you get out of the group?
A book. Straight up. It's actually on my shelf, just up there.
Cool.
So yeah, so at the beginning of the beta testing group, I started my book, and then by the end of it, I think I actually released the book it was in the last week, I think, just before we finished. So yeah, productivity definitely improved, having not written anything the rest of the year. So that was amazing. But I think it was more to do with just meeting other authors as well. So there were people from all over the world, like a really international bunch. And like some of the guys, it was like 3 a.m. I think for them, or 5 a.m., something crazy. And then there were some people from the US, I'm in the UK. So that was really nice. And I think it was really helpful to actually chat with them and have that accountability, but just to kind of hear that they were going through a lot of the same issues that I was going through, and to get their advice. We were all at very different stages. Some were new, some were very experienced authors. And it was just nice to kind of know that I wasn't really alone, and that other people were going through similar issues on a day-to-day basis.
What kind of issues were you and others in the group working through?
They were quite different. So sometimes it was just things like, just life stuff getting in the way, like, trying to pay bills or rental or moving houses, that kind of thing. So really practical things, and then how to stay productive with life events happening. But then there was some like pandemic things as well. So because obviously the situation was changing quite often as well. And then there were things like talking about Kanban boards and like how to plan things. We were all at different stages on our publishing journey as well, on our current books. So some people were just starting a book, like trying to think of ideas. Some people were already writing, and then some were in the kind of marketing stages as well. So that was really nice, because there was always somebody ahead of you and then somebody behind you. So I think we kind of inspired each other. So yeah, there were a lot of different things really.
So it sounds like community was also something that you guys were able to connect with each other on, and not just writing.
Yeah, and that was a bit of a surprise to me, because when I first signed up for the group, I was like, yeah, brilliant, like I'll be in a group of kind of like-minded people, and especially as an introvert as well. And then when we actually started, I had a little bit of, I think that first session I had a bit of a freak out, because I was like, oh, there's like all these people, and like I didn't know if I wanted to open up and share my struggles and things with the kind of group of strangers. But and I remember kind of messaging you about it and just being like, I don't know if this is for me. Like I thought I was a group person, but then it actually came to it, like talking to other people about, like feeling a bit kind of, I guess, imposter syndrome a little bit as well. Like they're all real authors and I'm not. But actually then sticking with it was really nice, because I got over that quite quickly. And actually we all were very similar. Like it was an even playing field, so and then we actually, like, now I've got some really good friends from the group, so that was really nice. And just to be able to message them as well, and kind of, if we're having a bad day, we like pick each other up a little bit and encourage each other. So yeah, that was nice.
Cool. Yeah, it's always nice to connect with other people. So what was the process like kind of week over week?
So the most important thing, and again, this was something that I actually struggled with sometimes as well, which I was a bit surprised about because I really wanted to be part of an accountability group. And I think it was every Monday at like 6 p.m. my time, we'd come together. And then some days I was like, do you know what? I'm not really feeling it today, or I can't really be bothered. I'm a bit tired, or like there's just too much stuff going on. And I was a bit reluctant, like, I could just miss it. And like, which again isn't like me, but I think because of all the situation with pandemic and things. But then I did turn up, but I always left feeling better and glad I'd like shown up as well. So, and I'd also, because I'd been kind of selected for this group, and it was a beta testing group, I didn't want to be ungrateful as well, or like let other people down. And kind of, there was like a bit of a, it wasn't like an open spoken promise, but we kind of all like made this unofficial agreement, with each other that we would support each other. So to not show it would have been really bad, I think. So that was actually really helpful. And I didn't want to show up then without having achieved what I said I was going to achieve that week. So that also pushed me along. So that was really helpful.
So was there discussion in the group, or what did you guys do during that hour? I mean, I know being I did it. I'm curious from somebody else's perspective what we did.
I'm trying to remember now. It seems like a long time ago, but it really wasn't. We basically so we come together. It was on a Zoom call, which is my first time on Zoom. I'm used to using like Skype and things, but Zoom was a new one to me. So the technology was kind of interesting to get to get to grips with. And so we come together, and then we'd have a chat about you ask us a question or you give us a theme for the week. And then we'd think about it, talk about it, and then we'd split off into our little groups, talk about it some more, and then come back together and then kind of share what we'd learned. So so that was the one side of it. And then the other side was on the setup you had, we could actually like leave a journal entry. So that was really useful because sometimes like the postman would come and disrupt me in my creative flow, and I get really cross about it. So but it was great because I could actually like just journal about it, like, oh, this was really bad today, or this really annoyed me. And it was good because I kind of got out of my system, and then it was there if I wanted to come back and talk about it. But like at most of the time it was like it was done and forgotten, so I didn't need to talk about it. But just getting it out of my system was quite helpful. And I also really liked that we could add our goals and things as well. So we could actually set deadlines and things on the system, which was quite good. And then you could set it up. I personally don't like getting lots of emails. I hate getting emails. So I don't like having things that I have to do. So I didn't set mine up to remind me. But if you had problems, like if you needed that extra push, you could actually set it up to send you email reminders and to chase you up about things. So that was definitely useful and nice to have the option to select it or not select it.
Well, cool. And so if you were to give like one reason why somebody should do this for, this next round or future rounds, what would you say?
Do it.
That was concise.
I got out of it in 6 weeks, so it definitely helped me. So I don't think I would have written that book otherwise. So, but the fact that I had said I will write, this chapter and this chapter and this chapter by next week, I didn't want to show up and having not done it, and everyone else had achieved things. So that was really good because I got my book written. So
cool. Do you think it's something you would do again?
Definitely. So without a doubt, and I would be less scared now as well. So and also I think just for anybody who goes through it, and if you're a bit nervous or you're having second thoughts, or if you're an introvert, or you don't really, because I think I was a bit worried that I'd have to listen to other people like complaining about their writing and things, and I was like, I need to just focus on what I'm doing and not get sidetracked. And that was a little bit like nerve-wracking, but actually it was fine, and it wasn't like that at all. So that was really good. I didn't think I'd have the patience to, deal with everybody else when I was trying to deal with my own stuff. So from a selfish perspective.
So what made a difference there? And this will be probably the last question I ask her. We know that you and I could end up running this intro video for 45 minutes with no problem.
Yes, definitely. Actually, one of the really nice things that came out of it was I think I got to know you quite well in the process. And sometimes like building up a rapport with somebody, like you either have it or you don't, and the trust and things as well. And that was actually one of the really good things I got out of it, that I was like, yeah, I could actually work with you kind of long term. So now we're working together on a very long term basis.
True. That is true.
Which is something that I kind of was. I always like kind of imagined or dreamed about like having an accountability coach, but didn't really ever think it was something that I would happen to somebody like me as a new author. So that's been amazing, and that kind of just came out of the group because I really missed it when we finished our group sessions, and I wanted to continue. So that was a bit of a surprise. So yeah, a nice surprise.
Yeah, well, it's been, fun chatting with you, and thanks for taking some time to share your experience.
Well, thank you for offering it in the first place, because yeah, it's been amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome.